Stop. Really, no, go on. Okay, go on. Don't stop. Good morning. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Dr. Lauren. And oh, today, hold on. I forgot to get the picture. She would kill me if she was here. Today is my birth mother, Lucille. She passed away in 2012. Today would have been her birthday. So, hold on. I have her right here. Yay. Here's my mama. This is my mama. And this is what she looked like when I met her. This was actually, I think, the second day that we had together. I love you, mama. I love you. And today, God rest her soul, uh, would have been her 90th birthday. Her 90th birthday. So I'm grateful. Hey, call your moms today. Don't wait for Mother's Day. Every day is Mother's Day. I was fortunate enough to have 22 moms, but that was mother number one. She got me here, y'all. And many of the things that she shared with me, those few short years that we did have together, because I was 32 years old when I finally found her. Uh, Many of those things serve me well today. Your mama never gets it wrong, right? Mama never, ever, ever gets it wrong. And so that's a beautiful thing. I just want to say good morning to all of you. It is June 4th, y'all. 1 month from today. One more. Hi, Andrea. Oh, Andrea, you're so sweet. Andrea, I know you can understand. Andrea, I love Andrea Harrison, you all. She's the Shine Master over at the Shine Crew. And right there at Shine with Andrea, make sure you check her out. She has a great show as well. And Andrea lost her mom in the last year, wasn't it, Andrea? And the thing about it with me is this: I wake up some days. Yes, sister. Yes, amen. I wake up and I forget that she's, what was it? May 15th. Has it been over a year already? Wow. You wake up and it's not so much that you miss the actual person, but there's a big gaping hole in your personal universe. So many times I wake up, oh, I see those fives, 5, 15, 25, girl. I see them. Yes, Andrea. I wake up and I swear I go, oh, I'm going to call mine. Oh, wait a minute. And it's not because I forget, it's because she didn't forget and she's still with me. So I don't have to pick up the phone. I just have to lift up my spirit. And there she is. Okay? Amen. So for all of you that still have your moms, give your mom a call today. You hear me? Because I sure wish I could. Now, let me check something real quick. It looks like I saw something from, oh, he is? Oh, Shaquille, can you send our guest the correct link? He has yesterday's guest link. And I don't know whose fault that was. Will you do that for me, please? Hit me in the private chat if you can handle it. And if not, I'll cut to commercial here in a minute and do it myself. But I believe you can handle it. Shaquille, everybody, is backstage now. Since we have rebooted, I have a show producer. His name is Shaquille, and he is absolutely amazing. You'll see a commercial later in the show from his company, and I'll tell you more about that then. So anyway, on to the show. First of all, good morning. No, great morning. No, somebody told me don't say morning because it's like, ooh, I'm in mourning. Which I am not in mourning about my mama anymore because she's got it better than I do. Trust me. You see what I'm saying? Glory. So anyway, I love you, mama. Great. Let me see. What do I want to say? Great day. Great rising. Grand rising. All of that and a bag of chips. Okay. Mm. Welcome to the show. My sidekick. She's been here since day one. Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. And you know how it gets with my voice during the holidays. I'm thinking about my birthday, y'all. Can't get past it. During the spring and then in the fall, the seasons where there's that thing on our tree over our deck that keeps dropping these little things. When everything's a blooming and stuff. Yeah. Anybody out there deal with hay fever or seasonal allergies? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So anyway, this is the time that I embrace this voice and just say that I am channeling Louise Jefferson. Do it! Right. From and we're moving on up. That's right. I'm channeling. But anyway, I embrace look, I receive it. I receive it all. Everything from the rooter to the tutor, from the outhouse to the White House. There you go. There you go. So we have a great show for you today. Brett D. Scott. He was here a few years ago. Lives in Australia in a beautiful area. It's called Sunshine Coast, right? Sunshine Coast, Queensland. Oh, now, what? As soon as I say Queensland, here comes, you know who's talking, RuPaul. Anyway, Queensland, Australia. Have you ever been to Australia? I have not, and I want to go. They say it's one humdinger of a flight. We're going to talk to Brett D. Scott about that because he's been over here to the States a few times, and we're working on some ideas to possibly get him back over here to the US of A. And I heard that. Who said that? Yes, and I'm trying to get over there too. Why not? Everything divine works in both directions. There it is. That's the bell of purpose. It is still here, and I ring it on purpose. When I ring that bell, that means come running. I know y'all are busy, you know, cooking oatmeal for the baby, flat ironing that hair, doing something, putting on makeup, which I don't use often. I did today. Did somebody say can't tell? Who is that out there with all these little smart comments? Anyway, keep them coming. I can handle it. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I'm so excited that Brett is here. Now, he is a fashionista. So since I wore the purple bowler cap last week with the purple robe, oh, it's back in wardrobe. Yeah, we have a wardrobe department now. It's called the extra closet in our guest room. Because I have 48 robes. So today I wore my spa robe, which is a little short number, hits right above the thigh, right above the knee, right mid thigh. But look at the pants. Ah, yes. And the baby I'm gonna start from the Prince immersive experience, which I swore I'd never wear because my husband bought it. I dug it out. See, I have all these caps here in the studio, nailed all the way around. I tore this one. Look, here's the nail. I'm not kidding you. I was like, where's that baby I'm a star hat? I had to take it down. I got to nail it back up after the show. Anyway, I have a clip, you guys, from the last time Brett D. Scott was here. Now, let me tell you a little bit about him. He got some fancy titles, y'all. Fancy, fancy, because he's a fashionista. So even his words have to have, tuxedos on. For instance, he's not just, I don't know, a speaker. He's a success alchemist. He's not just a coach. He's an identity architect. See what I'm saying about fancy? Bougie. I'm just kidding. He's also a transformational coach, and he is, in fact, an award-winning author. And again, lives in that. We're gonna talk about that Sunshine Coast thing. I'm jealous already. What is Chicago? The Windy City. Which would you rather? Sunshine Coast, Windy City. I'm just saying. And so he's also been in his many, many successful endeavors, a top real estate agent. And I want to talk to him today about a couple of things so you all can remind me. Um, One of the things that, well, I don't want to say it yet. Let's go to the clip. Now, y'all know, even though I have a show producer, some things you got to wrestle out of my hands. I'll do it. I'll do it. Get away. They can feed baby, they can change baby, they can play with baby, but nobody cuts baby's hair but Dr. Lauren. And sharing the screen is one of them. So I'm going to go for it. Let's see. I practiced it. Okay, there's that one. Share the screen. Oh, okay. And I'm going to go here. Take a look. Here he is. back in the day, y'all.
I said, well, first of all, it doesn't have a hold over me anymore, whereas
There
in
you
the
go.
past, it did. But number
Oh,
two, and the most important reason, right? Like, why did I, when I think about why did I end up there, something that I teach, and I'm sure you have as well, is with anyone that works with me, it's like you've got to put yourself first, right? You got to put yourself first. You got to be selfish. And the initial thing that most people think of, oh, isn't that the thing you're not meant to do? Aren't you meant to like try and help people? Aren't you meant to do
right.
all the good things? And it's like, yes, of course, but you can't help anyone unless you help yourself first. And
Hallelujah.
there's a differentiation, right, in being selfish to get what you want. Manipulation. I'm going to do this thing, and that's essentially, maybe not to the heightened degrees that some people might go to. Like you mentioned the word embezzlement. I don't believe I was consciously aware. Unconsciously doing it, yeah. I just wasn't paying attention on purpose, right? And so was I doing it? The answer is yes. And so the thing that I want to share though is that, when it comes to being selfish, there's two different ways of looking at it. The first way is where we're doing the things for me, me, me. What can I get out of this situation? Whereas when I think about being selfish now, I think I've got to fill myself up. Like when I read books, I read like every single day. And I don't just read for myself. I read because I want to pass it on.
Ooh, ooh, wee, ooh, wee, ooh, wee. Wow. Yes. Now, see, you got some golden nuggets right there. Now, we have a bunch more coming. We really do. In just a couple minutes. Now, what do I want to show you now? I'm trying to think. What do I want? I want to show you something fun, but I don't know. Mm, let's see. Brett's back there, and this time when he's here, while he's here, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because he's got a lot of stuff to share with us. Um, Let me just watch this. Brett,
Hello.
I
How
was
are you?
gonna I was gonna cut. Wait a minute. I'm trying to change something. I'm trying to change something. Good morning.
Good
Middle
morning.
of the
Well,
night. Good middle of the night for you.
it's
How are you?
uh it's either it depends how you look at it, right? You're either in the morning at 1 a.m. or you're in the middle of the night. I'm going to say I went to bed so that I could wake up, and as you know, I may have set the time an hour later than
But if
yeah.
you remember when we were figuring this out, you said 1 a.m.
I
originally.
did
You
initially.
sent me a
Yeah,
screenshot where something AI-ish told you 2 a.m. But
yeah.
you were right all along.
I was originally, and I think,
Ori-
why did I get 1 a.m. before? Anyway, the
I'll tell
great
you.
news is
Wait, you know where? Because you were following your first mind. And our first
correct.
mind is connected to the creation. Everything
This
after
is
that
correct.
is second guessing. I don't care if you put it through AI or not.
Yeah. Well, the great news is I'm here. The great news is that it's funny looking at that clip that you just shared because I can't remember what year that was. I was thinking, oh my gosh,
That
I think a
was
lot has changed.
22.
22. So where are we now? 26. 4 years later. Can you believe it?
I
Wow.
can.
There's
You know how I can believe it? Because my real face, this one, was right next to the 22 face. And I was like, I was looking at, wait a minute, where's this? It's not, oh, what's that? I'm kidding. I was really trying to like hold my head in the same position to get a good, I didn't hear a word you said. I was too busy looking at two faces.
oh
My
my
God,
goodness.
I'm two faced. I don't want to be that. That's what my grandmother used to always call my sisters. You're two faced. Anyway,
Uh,
so Brett, how have you been? You could have just got up with your robe on.
I know. I completely forgot. I'm sure we spoke about me having a Superman robe. So this is my red velvet, one of my red velvet jackets, which sometimes is thought of as my red cape
Of
for
course
my
it is red
Superman,
velvet.
bit of
Do y'all
Superman
see who I
behind
wore the
me.
pants?
There's no pants. No.
I said, now they see why I wore those pants because
Oh,
like
gotcha.
who likes to be
Gotcha.
upstate? And when Brett G. Scott's on the scene, you better bring out all your little clothing, jewels, because he is
Well,
going to look like $1,000,000.
I did actually wear a t-shirt instead of a shirt. I thought, oh, I'll keep it. I'll keep it down a little bit.
You look great.
Thank
So
you.
go ahead. How have
Appreciate
you
being here. When you said you were bringing Bathrobe Moments back, I was like, I hope he says, please, can you come on the show? Because
Oh,
yeah, very grateful to be
really?
here. So, yeah,
I
truly.
was afraid you were so big now that you were. Who is it? Um, Mr. Scott, there's a Dr. Lauren on the line. Who? I'm just kidding. Oh, I've
Uh,
kept my eye on you. We talk. I love the way we make sure we check in with each other.
yeah,
And to have
absolutely.
never met in person, I think that's
No,
pretty special.
and I've gotten close. As in, I was in Chicago, not Chicago. I was in Boston, November of last year. So it was closer than I've been for a while.
I know.
Yeah,
Next time we're gonna have to meet somewhere in the middle.
I know. Well, next time I'll have to just come to Chicago.
I was hoping he'd say that.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to? Um, I wanna go back to some of the things we talked about the last time you were here, but I'm interested in what's new and exciting in the world of Superman, Bradley Scott, and take people into your story about it. We both jumped off the roof once, y'all, trying to be
We
a
did.
superhero.
Yeah.
I did too. I ended up,
Yeah.
my heels, what do you call it? My arches dropped. I had to actually go to the emergency room.
Oh.
Uh, yes, I had a pillowcase though. That was the problem. I didn't have a cape. You had a cape. You were smarter than me. What age was
Well,
it you jumped off that roof?
I was 3, and my
My God,
mum,
I was 17. I'm kidding.
17. Well,
I'm
I was
kidding. I'm
3.
kidding. But go on, you were
I was,
3.
well, I was 3. I didn't end up in the emergency room, but I did end up in the rose bush. So luckily, my Australian roof must have been all that high. However, I can still remember to this day my mother. I don't know if you have it over there, but we had this thing called Dettol, which is like a antiseptic. So my mum was plucking the thorns out of my legs. I can clearly still remember, and she was putting the Dettol on, which is alcoholic. So it was stinging. I can still remember it.
Was it
But yeah,
orange?
yeah.
Okay, I
Orange.
think you were talking. We have it. We call them mercurochrome,
Okay, there
and
you
it
go.
leaves those little. You can tell where they put it, and it stings. And
Yeah,
yeah. Isn't that it? That's because like you guys have Marmite. No, you
Vegemite,
have Vegemite, and
Vegemite.
the UK has
Yeah.
Marmite, and guess what we have, y'all?
What?
They hate it. Peanut butter.
No, I eat peanut butter.
You do, but not
Yeah,
many people who like you. Do you like Vegemite?
yeah, I do. I think you have to grow up on it. I
You
must have
do.
been really little. Yeah,
So you were a Marmite. I mean, a Vegemite baby.
yeah. I was a Vegemite kid, as they call them here.
Yeah, they're healthy and plump and all these other great things. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so the interesting part of the story, because as you know, I have a TED talk which talks into the story of Superman or becoming my own superhero, and from the age of 1, which sounds bizarre even when I recall it, my mum would recall that I would nag her for a Superman costume. However, she knew, like, I was a very adventurous kid. Like if the door was left open, I would be out there running down the street. Remember growing up in the 80s? Well, I grew up in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And they probably still do these days, but they would have a harness for kids, and they would have a leash. And
Yes.
some parents would think, oh, that's cruel. How dare you put a child on a leash? No, if you've got a child that's going to run like wild, you need to have a leash. So,
I'm glad they didn't have those when I was, because they had 4 or 5 of them. Auntie Candy would have had one. Grandma Callie. I'm serious, and they'd have just probably choked me out. No, I'm just
no,
kidding.
these were strapped to your shoulders, so not over your neck. Anyway, not like a dog. But the point was, my mum knew how adventurous I was. Even at 1, she was already thinking there's a chance that he could get on the roof somehow and jump off. if he has that costume. So when I was 3, she bought me a Batman costume, thinking that Batman doesn't fly. Now, I probably knew that Batman didn't fly, but I'm sure I saw him gliding. So I thought, I'm sure I thought, oh, he glides off roofs. That's no problem. Anyway, I learned the lesson. Yeah, didn't fly again for a while. I did try, well, not the same way, but I did definitely had constant thoughts about flying. I would go to, I don't know if you had them in Chicago, but we had, wherever I lived in Australia, there were wishing wells. Don't seem to see them anymore, but there used to be wishing wells. You go to a park and there'd be a wishing well and you throw your coin in. Maybe it was a thing the
Oh yeah,
government.
yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
And
I have a portable
yeah.
one when I'm walking and standing out in front of stores. I hold it, and people. Yeah. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised.
That's funny.
I head to the coin star at least once a year.
Yeah, make a wish. Make a
Okay.
wish. Yeah. So that Superman has been a big part of my life, and as I might have said in the last interview 4 years ago, it took me until the age of 44 or 43, turning 44, to become the adult version and actually transform into my version of Superman. Which, I mean, I've got my book back there, but this is the original photo that
I remember. I love that one.
Yeah.
You know why?
That was.
Can I tell you what I thought the very first time? Because I've seen other people try to do that thing, and you go, boy, please. But what captivated me, Brett, seriously, is I was like, because I have this insight thing. And I'll tell people, when I get a download, how do you know, Dr. I'll say, because I'm looking at it. I see it right there. They give me glimpses, brief as they may be, into the superpowers or the future greatness of certain people. It's real for me. And when you were looking off, I wonder what he sees. What does he see in that moment? That's the piece I miss from the current picture. What is it? Well, do you remember that day when they took that photo? I bet you do.
Yeah, I do. I do, because remember I said to you that the photographer that I had was one of my first clients, and he said to me, I can't remember what nationality he was, but he said, "Hey, Brett, when you come for the photos, make sure you bring some fun stuff." And I'm like, "Fun stuff? What do you mean fun?" "I don't know, like just something fun." So I'm looking through my wardrobe, like you, it's very big. I'm looking through my wardrobe, and the only fun thing I could see were either a Hawaiian shirt, which I thought was way too fun, or my Superman t-shirt. And I thought, oh, Superman. Oh, I'm going to take all my suits so I could wear Superman t-shirt on it. Oh, I could do the Clark Kent turning into Superman reveal. So that was my original thought. And because of I obsessed over Superman, so I know the angle. Like he didn't know what it was, so I knew that was my angle. He took the photo, but the whole thing I know was from whatever I was downloading, and I knew that was the angle and everything to do.
Because you followed your first mind. You said my original thought.
Yeah, so I honestly don't know what was going through. I was just going with it, and I think, to your point, when I put the photo up on Facebook, and this was 2019 at that time.
Wow.
It would have been about August of 2019. When I put it up, I remember it went viral, and I don't mean viral just through my group of friends. I mean, it went like everywhere, and all these people are commenting. I'm like, wow, that's and I knew it was a great photo, but and then all of a sudden it hit me. So the thing that actually hit me, like you said, you could see something or sense something. The epiphany that hit me was, oh my gosh, what does Clark Kent turning into Superman actually, what does it represent? It represents a metamorphosis. It represents a transformation. And I was becoming, at that point, my version of Superman. I wasn't fully there, and maybe I'll never actually fully get there. But the point was, now when you're talking to me in 2026, I've really embodied that version of my Superman self, even more so. And so, I think the reason you saw in me not just some guy putting on a Superman t-shirt, trying to be fun,
Yeah.
it's actually something that I've lived. And the lived part is I wasn't living what Superman stands for. What does Superman stand for? He stands for truth and justice. And Lauren would say, yeah, in the American way.
Oh,
I'm Australian, but anyway,
right.
it's truth and justice. They were two things I was not upholding. And so these days, it's imperative. It's am I the best at upholding those? No. But am I getting better every single day? Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, it's not a shameless plug, but it ties in. Because I was just thinking about it. Even then, I didn't realize, I've been writing this book with Sanjeev Chopra.
Yeah.
Um, you guys, we're almost finished. He just got back from Singapore, I think day before yesterday. He was there speaking. And I've learned so much about our souls since we started this work. And the eyes truly are the windows to the soul. And I was focused not on the t-shirt, I was focused on where your eyes were. And I could tell they could see something that made me want to see it, because I believe there's like when we say to somebody, you know what, Brett, I can so see you doing this. It's because your intention is so powerfully set that, because there's only one screen, everything in this world that we touch, every single thing we can touch, began, the person who got it here, that moment of inspiration, that when they set the intention, it was because they saw it on the same screen that we all have. It's
Yeah.
called the imagination. And I wondered what you were imagining. And it was so powerful, it bounced off your screen onto mine. And I'm like, what is he looking at? And that is insight. And so I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Because the wonderful thing about Superman is, or any superhero, and you and I love this thing about play, about keeping the wonderment of childhood alive as we
Yeah.
move further away, because that is the shortest neighborhood that we go through in our journey, is childhood. It's over just like that. And that's where a lot of things come in and steal or taint the innocent. I said taint. The innocence, that's like saying moist. Sorry. See, there's that kid again. That's why they put right now in fifth grade, they're putting me out in the hallway. Get your chair. You're headed to the hallway. And but the thing is, we lose that. We become so jaded. I don't know about you, but I love children. I know you do. And
Yeah.
I love just listening to the sound of laughter and play. And so, on the last set, and I still have some toys all around here. Not nearly as many as I did before, because I'm supposed to be serious now, they say. I see, because I'm jealous. I want to come to your house to play. Can you shed a little light, if you would,
Yeah.
on what the joy of play, happiness, joy, bliss, all those things that are so very healing. But when was the last time you heard of a bunch of adults? They want to go for a wine tasting. They want to sit around the charcuterie tray. I don't know if I said that. That's a big word for me, charcuterie. Charcuterie. Okay, I can't do more than 5 syllables. I'm just letting you know. Um, but what if we had a dinner party, and we say, okay, after dinner, we're all going outside to play? Can you
Yeah.
imagine the looks of the adults around the table? Talk about what that means and why you have those figurines. And what are they just there? Are those show props or something else?
No, the figures, they started with one. So it started with one Superman figure that I got for a Father's Day, and it must have been 2022 or 2023. And it just grew. So yeah, it like, are they props? Not yes and no. Like, I've got others in my bedroom. It's become a bit of a collection, and it's not for the sake of it. It's because, yeah, I think to your point about, I was in Melbourne just recently. I just won another award. Probably can't see it. I won silver for Coach of the Year 2026, which was pretty exciting. And after I won, the following day, I went into a place in Melbourne called St Kilda, which is actually where I grew up. My, let's call them informative years, from the age of 14 until 18. And I remember I went down to the place where, as a 14-year-old, I would go and sit on the rocks of a pier called the St Kilda Pier, funny enough. And from the age of 14 to 18, I did a lot more adulting than any 14 to 18-year-old, I believe, should. Whereas when I was, I moved to Perth from the age of 9 until I was 14. And when I turned 13, I fell into the trap. I'm not going to say trap. I found that, and it's actually not a story I don't think I've ever shared. So when I was 13 in high school, I had a group of friends that I went to primary school with, and they all pulled me aside one lunchtime. And they said to me, Brett, we've decided that we're no longer going to be your friend and we don't want to hang around with you.
The whole group did that?
The whole group of guys, young guys. So all the young boys that I went to primary school with and lived in the same area, they all decided that they were no longer going to be our friend. Now, as you would, I said, well, why is that? And they said, because you're too much of a goody two-shoes. And you're always, whatever they said. And I remember it was almost in that moment, something snapped. And the snap was, you're not good enough. And I grew up without a dad, as you know, and I'm sure there was a part to that, even though I never complained about not having a dad, but internally, I would have felt like, I'm not good enough. My father doesn't see the point. He's still alive and still, has a family, and there's no bad blood between us. It's just he never bothered. So when these friends of mine decided, well, we're no longer going to be a friend, I remember something snapped, and I no longer wanted to be that goody two-shoes. And I no longer had those friends. And I know I became a real rebel. Started skateboarding, started graffitiing, that kind of started to become this new version of me. And then when I moved to Melbourne, everything started ramping up even more, to the point where when I was 15, I started going to nightclubs. I met the owners of this first nightclub that I went to. They then said, hey, do you want to do nightclub promotions? They didn't know I was 15. They thought I was 18 or 19.
Okay.
And, but I became really popular within the nightclub scene. And so I found I grew up way too early. And so you mentioned before about, the play side of it. I've got an 11-year-old son named Orlando. Unconsciously named after Orlando Magic, just so I'm really clear, not Orlando Bloom, the actor, because I was a big
Orlando, Florida.
Big Shaq fan. Sorry for people who are in Chicago. It was at the same time as the Bulls, who were obviously clearly the winners with Michael Jordan.
Well, I'm just going to say, I love them all. They're some of my favorite tennis players.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Serena Williams, amazing. Anyway, so my point I'm getting to, long-winded way, is
Okay.
Do I pull these out and play with them the way I used to when I was a 10-year-old? No, because I used to play with my Star Wars figures and my Master of the Universe, which is actually a movie that I've got tickets to that we're going to on Sunday, my son and I. He's never seen Master of the Universe, so we're excited for that.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, so the beautiful gift that I've been given, even though my childhood I didn't get to have the full extent of a childhood, I grew up way too quick, is I get to relive that with my son. I get to allow him to be the child, and he's a different boy than me, but he's very regulated. My ex-wife and I have a great relationship. He doesn't have the same, I'm going to say, issues that I had. And will he have his own challenges? Yeah, of course. But he's got a beautiful, loving family that are always there for him. So, yeah.
Do you remember the time, because you know how kids are, if I was a kid, even if I was your kid, and I walked in that room and I saw all these, and I already can tell by the way you have them positioned. You're like me. I can tell, hey, what are you doing? Let somebody go for my Galaga game. I have a little Galaga game, and whenever the kids come here, you know, because they'll take stuff, and I'll find it behind the dispenser. I'll find it in the garage because kids, you know, it's just a toy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, do you remember how you explained all of these figurines to your young son?
Yeah.
Dad, you
Do you
play
know?
with toys, or did you grow up? How did you indoctrinate him to what the difference was between a toy and something like what we see
Well,
behind?
here's the interesting thing. You just met like the kids that you're talking about who would put
Yeah.
stuff in places that you, oh my gosh, where is it? That was
Right.
me. I was that kid, right? You would these would none of these, you don't see the ones in the boxes. I've got probably, I don't know, got way too many in boxes, right? They're not unpacked. Some of these ones are loose, right? But even the loose ones, my son never touches them, and I've never told him don't touch.
Are you
Right? Never
serious?
told him. No, I'm serious. So my son has what he calls plushies, you know,
Oh
soft toys.
Lord, you guys have those too?
Yeah. So
Those,
he loves,
whoever came up with that one.
yeah. he has like 100
I
soft toys,
know.
right? He has all those. So he loves them, but he doesn't play with toys the way I used to. Like I grew up with Lego, Master of the Universe, Star Wars figures, and I would be playing with those like they were, you know, like I guess girls would play with Barbies. I'd be playing with them, you know, making up
What do you
stories.
mean, girls? I had Barbies.
I might have had a Barbie in my time. Hey, there's no judgment. But yeah. But the point is, yeah, I've never had like that. To answer the question, I've never had to say to him, "Hey, please don't open that." Like he looks at them, but he never bothers. He said, "Oh, that you got a new one. Oh, how's?"
Mm,
But
mm.
he never does. Yeah, he's a really different. He's a different kid to me. Like he's not like me as a kid. That's for
Well,
sure.
you know what? He's your only child, correct?
He is. Yeah.
And I've heard you in the last time we were together. You mentioned what it was like to be a father late, like in your 40s, and this, that, and the other. And so, you know, it doesn't surprise me that it is like that. Now, we're going to take just a short break, you guys. And when we return, I want to revisit one of the things we spoke about, touched on the last time Brett D. Scott was here. And it all boils down to vulnerability. I referred to when you told us about the very first time that you cried as an adult. I want to
Oh,
go
yeah.
there because, you know, we hear big boys don't cry and superheroes.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one cry? I haven't. So we're going to talk about that when we return. We have a lot more show ahead. Don't you dare go away. We'll be right back. Hey there, my friends. It's Dr. Lauren, and I want to personally invite you to take a look at something very special. Bathrobe Moments is back, y'all. That's right. And as we step into this new chapter, I'm seeking bold, purpose-driven voices, real voices who are ready to share something real. Now, it doesn't have to be perfection. No, it doesn't need to be a performance. But it does need to be your truth. If you have a story that can help someone heal, grow, rise, live life just a little bit differently, better, then that is what we are looking for, and this could very well be your moment. So now remember, you don't have to be famous. You just have to be real, ready and willing to share from your heart. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, you can get behind this, then we want you to DM us right here, and someone from the team is going to reach out, and we're going to see if this moment, because the door is open, and who knows, this moment, well, it very well might be yours. Let's see. All of our story, or once upon a time. And for me, my story
began pretty much, and this is how it was referred to for quite a while, a backdoor deal. I could be living in a different neighborhood, in a different school, with different kids in the same bedroom from day to day. And so it began to feel like I was moving through a maze. I was always the kind of kid who would talk to my imaginary friends. They would talk back. And I know now that it was a great thing because it was carving out a place for me to dream. A lot of us will say, well, I want to lose 10 pounds. And then down the road, we've gained it. Why? Because want comes like a wish list, but need comes with a plan. When you feel that power, that is your story, and you see how many paths it can light, trust me, there's nothing in the world that will make you say it wasn't worth it.
We're back. We're back. So I just in case, gave you enough time to get some tissue. No, seriously, that stuck out to me. I remember I went back and watched it a couple times immediately after we were together last time because it resonated. I remember when I used to feel ashamed or I felt embarrassed or less than because I was a boy who cried. And today I realize that, whether they're tears of joy or tears of pain, they're both a win. Tears of joy is great, and tears of pain, why do they call them growing pains and not growing tickles? Something great is going on. But I want you to talk about why it was so long for you, why it took so long for you to understand that it was okay for a guy to cry. You were an adult. Take us there, if you would.
Yeah. So, do you know there's a movie with what's her name? Cameron Diaz called The Holiday.
Oh,
Drew
yeah.
Barrymore. Yeah.
Mhm.
And in that movie, Cameron Diaz, she can't cry. And she does everything. She's just doing her best to try and figure out how she can actually cry. And like her, I could have tears that would well up in my eyes, but I just couldn't actually get the crying part to work. As a child, yes, but as an adult, no. Now, how did it happen? I don't know. But what I do know now that I have had the tears, so the first time I cried was when I had the big news that I had this big debt that I'd accrued and I knew that when I go and tell my now ex-wife the news, who was pregnant at the time, and we'd just moved to our dream location, I knew that there's no way that we're going to be together. So we were 12 years together. And so I knew that was the end of our relationship. And so finally, after I'm spiraling down, thinking about how do I take my life, I just started to cry. And as I'm crying, I remember saying to myself, I never want to be in this type of situation again. In fact, I never want to be this type of man again. And when I figure out how to fix my life, I should write a book and help other stupid men figure out how to fix their lives as well. Now, that was the actual thought process that is burnt into my memory. But from that point on, it took me another 4 years to have my next cry. And the next cry was the breakthrough, right? I'm listening to Bob Proctor, my first mentor, and I'm driving my car. And it was like day 2 of a workshop he ran called The Paradigm Shift. And he was yelling into his microphone, I imagine, because I wasn't watching, I was just listening to this recording. And whatever he said, I don't remember the actual words, but I remember in my mind, as I'm crying, I'm actually, these are tears of joy. And I'm laughing to myself going, why am I crying? And I heard in my head, as we often do, oh my God, you're going to be successful this time. Now, I don't know if that was my voice or someone else's voice. And all of a sudden, it was almost like I was having these flashbacks. And these flashbacks were all the times I would get to a decent level of success and I'd find a way to stuff it up every single time. And I knew, I could feel it in my heart that I was no longer going to go through those those sabotaging moments again. I was going to find a way. I was always going to find a solution to keep moving forward. I was not going to quit on myself or anyone else, even like today, being here at 1 a.m. And so,
Right.
the point is, from there on, Lauren, the beautiful thing is, like, it used to be that I couldn't even count on one hand how many times I cried. I even cried on the weekend, last weekend. So I'm able to cry now, right? But not like, do I cry often? No. But can I cry if I need to? Absolutely, which is beautiful.
It is. It is.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, just like the direction that you came from with it, I kind of had the opposite. You know, I cried for things that didn't deserve my tears.
Ah, okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember I had a download once where creation spoke to me and they said, don't hide your tears, whether they are of joy or of pain. Every tear you let and allow and give permission to fall from these are the eyes which are the windows to the soul. They see outwardly. When we realize what's really going on, it's because we're using our real eyes, the ones to the soul through these that can see everything above the treetops of purpose, because the soul is eternal. And we're told to count it all joy. And the thing about it is, it reminded me of children that I met in the system, kids, teenagers, who would burn themselves, cut themselves in places where no one could see, all in an attempt, like the girl in the movie you mentioned, to cry. And it's like letting the air out of the tank. It reminds us that we still have something worth fighting for in this journey. And so thank you. I really honor you for sharing that. And I want to make sure that we give you time to tell us what's going on, where people are going to be able. We've got at the top of the screen, superchargedfreedom.com. And we also have your website at brett@brettscott.com. Tell us about what people will find if and when, and I certainly hope you all will, because that's what really baptized me into all of the truths, all of the lanes of impact that this great man here, this superhero, Brett D. Scott, has to offer. So, Brett, why don't you give the people a little insight into what they'll find when they actually go to these two lanes of opportunity?
Well, there's a third lane too. There's more than two. So
I know I have your phone number pulled up in case you're looking for a date. That's the third one you're talking about?
Which one?
Your phone number. I have your phone number.
Oh, no.
You know, some single woman wants to like reach out and go, you know, I kind of like that jacket.
If somebody wants to ring, sure. But no, I was going to say on social media. So if you want to find me on Facebook or Instagram.
What's your main one?
Yeah, it's at the Brett Scott. All both double T's. Brett Scott double T, but at the Brett Scott. At the Brett Scott.
Okay.
So if you type that into Meta, whatever, Instagram, Facebook, you'll find me. But to answer the question, Lauren, you mentioned before about the photo and about what am I looking at? You know, you could see that I was looking into something. I didn't know it in that moment, but what I do know now, and not too long after that photo, was I recognized and realized that I'm living purpose. I'm on a mission. Now, the mission that I'm on is to eventually help millions of people to live their version of success and freedom. Which sounds
the word right there. Their version.
Their version, yeah.
And not someone else's. See, that's very key. I don't want that to just go flying by. You guys let that hang out there for a minute. Your version. Because so many of us, I poured everything I had for decades into the building of someone else's dream.
Yeah.
And I was willing to take the crumbs. And I didn't even have one of those things that good waiters have where they go and they scrape all the crumbs off your table with it. You know, I was going like here. Trying to get. Who does that? I did. So go on, continue. But I just wanted people to understand just how important that one word was. Your version.
You know, and I'm glad you did stop me, because the thing I've realized in the last 4 years since we caught up is that the beautiful gift that I know I've been given is my focus isn't about teaching people what I think they should do. My focus is teaching people some tools that enables them to live the life that they want to lead.
Mm.
I don't it like I don't try and I don't try and I don't try and I was going to say educate. I don't try and put my will on what they should be doing based on my own beliefs and understandings of their life. The only thing I will say is that, you know, if somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I'm really struggling here," like one of my most recent clients who's still with me, his name's Mark. I mentioned in that story of crying about, wanting to teach other stupid men. Now, I wasn't stupid in the moment. I was just feeling stupid. Mark, he wasn't stupid, but he was at the lowest in nearly every area of his life. He was in desperation. He was really at that desperation point. He was the embodiment, or he is the embodiment, in a different version than me, but he is the embodiment of why I actually wrote that book. And my book, which is behind me, is Supercharged Freedom. Your truth will set you free. Not the truth, your truth. Your truth will set you free. And so the beautiful thing that I've come to realize about the work I do, and what will people find when they come across me, is that I'm sharing information, but I'm not trying to say, this is what you got to do. I'm just sharing some stuff that I've learned, that I've applied, that other people that I've worked with have applied. And so I'm sharing information that hopefully will inspire people and not just be motivational, but actually get them to do something. Hey, why don't you try this? Try it. If it works, come and share it with me. Or, maybe we might have a conversation. Maybe we might work together. Whether we do or don't, it doesn't really matter to me.
Right.
Because my mission is so much bigger than just building my own business. And I think that's the separation that I feel between all the other coaches out there. And I'm generalizing, but because maybe there's others that, like me, that, genuinely want to help people.
That's right.
And, and sure, we've all got to live, we've all got to build, if we're in our own business, we've all got to build a business, but that shouldn't come at the cost of somebody else getting to where they need to get to.
And you know what? You're absolutely right. And I'll throw myself in that pool as far as that kind of a coach, because you all have heard me say many times, Dr. Lauren don't sell shit. I'm serious. I don't. I just tell the stories, and I allow the people that I've worked with through their own testimonials, not scripted, to tell the experience, to share the experience. And if there's anything in there that resonates with you, that makes you want to come and get some, that's what did the selling.
Yeah.
You see, because a lot of people say this, and I'm going to, I said it on the last show. It messes with a lot of people, but it is the truth. I'm going to tell you something. You must be impeccable with your word is the first agreement. And remember this, a lot of people think God is first in their life. No, it's second in my life, because everything says, in the beginning, there was the word. It was the word that was with God. It was the word that was in God. That's how you can say, let there be light. That shows you how powerful that word is. So I'm going to tell you something. What you just described is everything. Is everything. Put that one back up on the screen, y'all. About there it is. Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now that's powerful. So if people, now up atop is where they go and they check out the book, correct?
Yeah, you can find the book there.
Okay.
You can reach out to me through there as well.
Okay. If they want to talk to you about your coaching, where's the best road for that?
Yeah, through my website. You can even if you just send a message through there, you don't have to buy anything off there. Because for me, and probably very much like you, it's a two-way street. So there are often people that I say, I'm not the right person for you. I would love to help you, but I don't think I'm the right fit for you. And like you, I've got a lot of friends in the coaching space. So I might say, hey, how about I refer you to a couple of different people and see if they resonate with you, see if there's some alignment there, but I'm probably not the right person for you. So I'm doing that because for me, it's a real personal journey. Anyone that comes on the journey with me in coaching, become a lifelong friend.
Hallelujah. If I could speak in tongues, I'd say Hasababaka. But I'm saying you're absolutely right. Because there it is. When we step and stay, not just visit, but we decide to have not a shared custody agreement, a fulfilling relationship, a lasting relationship. We don't come to visit, we come to live together within purpose. What happens is you transform everything. You no longer are just good friends, you're blessed friends. You no longer
Yeah.
just sit down and occupy any space. You
Yeah.
instantly convert everything around you into sacred space. And all of the good times, the great times, the greater times, they don't fall under the category of fond memories. They instantly are divine memories. That is why this is so powerful. And so I honor you, I salute you, and I
Thank you.
celebrate you because you got it. You really do. And thank you so much for getting up at 1/2 in the morning, depending on whose version of the story you want to take, and coming in and pouring into our audience. It's so, so very um, generous of you. So I want to
Very,
say that
yeah.
last thing I'd like to ask you before we get
Yeah.
out of here, we're almost out of time, is tell everybody what is that one thing that you know you get to get up, Superman, every day and pour into this world that you know for a fact eases some form of suffering somewhere in the world. 1, 2, 3, go.
I would say this: every single person, and this is actually a non-negotiable. Anyone that works with me, I'll say to them, if you don't have uh, a forward-thinking view of when I help you to become the version of you that you want to be, you have to pay it forward. If you don't have this vision of helping other people, now I don't mean they have to become a coach or a mentor, but whatever the way is, but they actually have a vision of helping others. That could be philanthropy, it could be whatever. So for me, it's like the key to leading a meaningful life, and that could be that you're working somewhere and you get the ability to pass on beautiful compliments to people, in let's say customer service way. Great. But there has to be something that they will do moving forward that is paying it forward. So for me, it's like when I think about purpose, when I think about anyone being on purpose, first thing I'll say to them is, look, I don't know what your purpose is, but I do know I know what purpose is for all of us, which is help the greater good. The more people you can help, well, guess what? You're helping yourself as well. You can't give without receiving. The law of reciprocity.
There's one of those big words again. You're gonna dress them up in a tuxedo, y'all. You best believe. Guys are in t-shirts and some boxers. So listen, Brett D. Scott, thank you so much for being such a great associate traveler, a change agent, and most of all, a blessed friend. And I mean
Thank
that.
you.
I can't wait to give you a hug in real time, in real life, in real person. And I just want to say to you guys, Monday, Dr. Beatrice Olson, you'll see her on the screen as we get out of here. She'll be here. We're headed to Jackson Hole in just a couple of weeks for the Trueness Project annual event that I MC every year. And I hope to see all of you there. More on that during next week's episodes. In the meantime, this is our, what's today? What day of the week is it?
Thursday.
I don't know if we do tomorrow or not. I think we do. Well, whatever it is, listen, I can't wait to see you again, right? Get out there and make today your greatest day ever. Remember, to go to greatest, you got to go from great to great, great to great, great to great, and then comes greatest. Don't start with good. There's no place to go. Where are you going to be, gooder? Think about it. Brett, again, thank you so much, my man. As always, not a disappointment.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
You guys have the best day ever. Dr. Lauren out. See you soon. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it?